Three, two, one, and go.
Good morning. Oh, good evening. so, so we chose 7 p.m. for this particular live because we are currently in Chiang Mai and exactly 12 hours difference.
12 hours difference Eastern time. Yeah.
So we had a nice little 6-hour nap and now we're awake to chat with all of you and having some coffee.
Yes, but let's see if you can hear us.
Yeah, so just let us know, make sure, because we're not sure about the internet and all that over here right now. So give us a little nod if you can hear us. Let us know where you are, where you're listening in from, and hopefully everybody enjoys today's live stream.
Yeah, I'm just looking at my phone because I want to make sure that we are live.
He does it every time, even though it says live.
Yeah, but we never know the other side.
Yeah.
Oh,
hello, Fire Ninja Turtle. How is everything with you? Good, hopefully, very good. Yeah, so the reason that we wanted to try and do a live maybe once a month, if not more frequently, just to sort of keep in touch with everybody, catch up a little bit. But we also wanted to bring today's live to you guys because a few weeks ago, we put out a post on our community tab and about what you think was going to be the most expensive thing with regards to travel in your retirement. And the vast majority of people said accommodation. And we thought, well, we have a new little trick that we want to kind of share with everybody. Yes. So we thought a live might be the best platform to do that. And then we'll also put out a video later on about it.
Yeah. I was actually looking at the numbers, even though we have mentioned before. Hey, Northwest Coast. That's awesome. We were, what was I saying?
I'm not sure. It's early, so you're going to have to bear with us. Our brains may take a minute to warm up.
Okay, I'm going to tell you a secret. I can only function after when I get up in the morning, I have to have a coffee and I have to shower.
Yeah.
If I don't do this, I am
non-functioning. He's had one of the two. He's working on the coffee. He's had the shower, but he's working on the coffee.
Exactly. That's good. So what is the coffee? Do you like the coffee?
Yeah, it's good. We didn't realize that Thailand is a huge producer of coffee, chocolate, tea, some of those things. And the coffee here has been excellent. And I don't know if it's getting dark or not. Hopefully, the sun is just waking up over here, so it might look a little darker for a few minutes until the sun comes around. So
yeah. So we are planning to stay here. Let's say hopefully that you guys can stick with us for maybe the next hour. We want to go through and show you how you use those shopping portals and how we see the advantage of doing that. Maybe for an hour, we are not sure. We are more than happy to stay. More than that, it's already morning here.
Yeah, so, I think hopefully the demonstration doesn't take too long, and then if you guys have questions, we can obviously answer those too, because last week we did the video on points and miles and how we really do believe that points and miles are a legitimate way of earning an income, though it's not physical cash. It's definitely, the value of it is a cash value and can truly save you on your bottom line. And whether that's travel or cash back home, it can really help. And
we kind of forget it because initially when you were thinking about that, we were always make sure maybe the best way for us is to get some cash, hence the cashback. But we realized really early in the game that cashback in our case was not the best option because we wanted to travel, and I'm gonna say most of the time the best way to take advantage of that is by the time that we use points and miles to travel.
Yeah.
Right?
Hey, Will. Well, thank you for staying awake till midnight. I don't think I could function if we actually did the live stream at midnight. Our situations would be reversed. I'm a morning person. Jean's the night owl. So.
Yeah, I would be having my scotch right now while we talk, but since it's morning here, I'm having my coffee.
Yeah.
Right.
So Jean, we'll just kind of pop into it here, and hopefully as more people join, if you guys have questions, put them over in the comments. We'll definitely try to scroll back, but if you want to wait till towards the end and then put the questions there, we won't lose them up in the chat.
Yes, either way we will be able to answer all of them, right?
So Jean's already kind of alluded to it, but what we're really talking about when we're talking about saving money on accommodation is using a shopping portal. And I think everybody and their mother has a shopping portal these days. But there's a few that are very useful when it comes to booking accommodations. We're going to talk about one of them specifically today, and it's a new shopping portal. I think it's only been active since April.
Yes.
And in October, they made some really big changes to it that are beneficial to a lot of people that are traveling. More than the average, I think, would be a good way to look at it. Even if you're just looking to book a vacation, it's definitely something to take a look at. But the first shopping portal that we're just going to touch on really briefly is Rakuten.
Yeah, and by the way, even before we start, we are not sponsored by them. No questions at all. It'll be good if they can sponsor us. If you guys can see,
anybody knows anybody.
But yeah, they're not sponsored. It's just our experience in using them. So
yeah. So Rakuten is one of those shopping portals that a ton of people have access to. And very often they run deals on accommodation sites. So some of those might be booking directly with a hotel, so Marriott, IHG, things like that, or booking platforms, booking.com or Agoda, those types of ideas. Expedia.
Yeah, all of those portals.
So the idea being, you go to Rakuten first, you find whichever platform you want to book on, you click on that, and it takes you directly to the platform. So it's one extra step, but that one extra step could really be multiplying the money that you're already spending. And for our US friends, they have a very big advantage with Rakuten where you can, instead of getting cash back, you can actually get American Express rewards points as your cash back, or now Bilt rewards. And both of those are transferable currencies. We've talked about the power of a transferable currency previously. So you can accumulate more of those points and miles and then transfer them out to cover flights and stuff like that.
Yeah. Maybe what would be important to mention is when we say those points, let's pretend that you are going to fly from, I don't know, from North America to Asia. Once you go and you want to buy your flight, you can basically pay in cash, but some of those airlines, they offer points and say, if you want to fly from, let's say, Canada, and I'm going to use our example. We were in Istanbul just a few months ago, and we decided to fly from Istanbul to Bangkok. We could have paid that flight in cash, but on the other way to use this, we decided to pay points, basically pay the flight with points. Those are the points that we are talking about. So as you start using those shopping portals more and more, you are accumulating those points. So these are the points and miles that we basically use as we do accumulate them to pay for our flight. Right.
And I guess before we get too much further into the weeds, if there's terms and things that you guys aren't understanding, there is a from last week's video, there's a guide that you can download on the resources page that sort of goes through all of this and explains a little bit more what we're talking about. So we're not going to talk too much about Rakuten today, but it is a really good one. And Rakuten's really great for accumulating those transferable points and miles with your everyday shopping needs. So you want to go and buy some new clothes for Black Friday. Go into the Rakuten portal. I'm sure there's going to be a ton of deals. And then it'll link to whatever site you're looking to buy from, and you'll accumulate transferable points or cash back on top of your regular spend that you're also going to be accumulating points and cash back on with the credit card that you're going to use. So it's good. It's a really great portal. I think there's a lot of information out there. If you guys want us to do a video on how we use Rakuten, we can certainly do that because Jean took a quick look yesterday. And just in the 2 years since we've started to really amp up our Rakuten spending habits, I think you've earned around 70,000 Amex rewards.
7,000 Amex rewards points.
And that's just on top of what he's already earning, right?
Yeah,
so
it's just being strategic when to buy. And I'm going to give you another example on Rakuten. Well, we do use a VPN to travel, which is NordVPN.
Again, not sponsored.
not sponsored. But what happens is once it's time to, let's say, when it was time to buy a VPN before we fly back in 2024, I was basically going on Rakuten every day and looking, okay, is NordVPN with a good promotion now? No, it was not. It was not. I waited until it was time. When NordVPN on Rakuten, you were actually paying 95% back in cashback. So that's why, okay, now it's time to go and
buy it
and
through
buy
there, right?
So the subscription
basically didn't cost anything. And I think again, U.S. Thanksgiving is fast approaching, and most everywhere now has Black Friday deals that sort of correspond with the same holiday in the U.S. So take a look on Rakuten because there's definitely going to be some opportunities there for holiday shopping or just your regular shopping. And we'll put a link if you don't already have Rakuten. I think there's a $50 sign up.
Yes, there's a $50 sign up bonus now and here's what we do. Another example. And I'm sorry, we're gonna give you guys, as we talk, all the tricks that we have learned. First of all, you gotta go and you gotta pay your credit card balance in full. So this is a must. If we do use those shopping portals, you have to pay your statement in full, because if not, you have to do some homework before that. The second one is, if I refer Christine to Rakuten, I would get $50 cashback. She would also get $50 cashback by creating her account on Rakuten and spending $50. So you spend $50 and you get $50 back.
Yeah, so referring friends and family to all of these types of credit cards or portals also earns you extra points. So,
yeah.
That's Rakuten.
That's Rakuten. Right?
But the point of today.
Yes.
So the point of today is my new favorite friend. It's called Rove Miles. And Rove Miles is a shopping portal.
Yeah.
But it is more of a shopping portal like an Expedia or a Booking.com, something like that, where you can book flights, hotels, and they do also have a shopping portal where you can go in and buy Airbnb gift certificates and stuff like that. However, the biggest advantage of Rove Miles is that you are earning a transferable point currency. And it's the first one of its kind that actually earns a transferable point system. Even though Amex, you could earn Amex rewards, or Bilt, you could earn Bilt rewards, but not everybody can do that. This is strictly you are earning Rove Miles, and those Rove Miles can be used either in the portal itself to offset costs that you're going to start to see in a minute, or how we would ideally suggest spending them, at least in our case, is transferring them to airline partners to then pay for your flights, maybe to reach this destination in order to stay and stuff like that. So we're going to go over Rove Miles. So I think we have a few screenshots, and we did the screenshots because sometimes the internet here can be a little slow and loading and whatnot. So we took all of these yesterday. So they're fairly up to date and recent.
Yeah. Okay. So bear with me. We are going to talk about that. So let me.
Yeah. And so just before we get to that, why is this important for retirees, right? We're on a budget. And I mean, Jean and I have talked about our budget a lot. And all of you probably realize at this point that we're a little bit over budget. But the one thing that's really saving us over the course of our travels are points and miles. They have proven to be an extremely lucrative income stream for us. Jean talked about the flight we took from Istanbul here to Bangkok to, hey Tracy, to where are we now? Thailand. We flew Qatar, but we didn't just fly Qatar. We flew Qatar business class. And if nobody's experienced an airline outside of North America and some European airlines, the service, the quality of the product is outstanding. So it cost Jean 70,000 points to fly almost 14 hours, and it cost me 70,000 points and miles to fly almost 14 hours in business class, like a quality business class, where we arrived here in Thailand far more rested and relaxed and ready to enjoy our time than had we been in economy.
Yeah.
And the only thing to keep in mind with points and miles is you end up paying the taxes and fees. So in total, that 14-hour business class flight cost us about, let's round it to $500 more or less total for the two of us.
For the two of us.
So they definitely do save a lot of money, because that cash price on that ticket was far more than $500, as you could well imagine. So I think looking at points and miles as a valid income stream that can really offset costs, where you can then allocate the money that would have been spent on either a flight or a hotel stay, and you can allocate that to other experiences, whatever it might be. We took a hot air balloon over the pyramids in Mexico City, right? That's an expense, but by offsetting other expenses, that money was available to us. So things like that.
Yeah. And the other one is just the experience for us. It starts at the time that we leave home. And yes, we don't have a home. The experience starts at the time that we leave our current location, right? So the fact that it was a long flight from Istanbul to Bangkok with a stopover in Doha, Qatar, and just having an opportunity to relax and kind of decompress, because it's a stressful day. And hopefully, it's not that I want you guys to have a stressful day, but by the time that we start traveling more and more, when you leave home, it's stress, going through customs and making sure that your luggage and everything else is in place, and having this extra layer of comfort, it's always a must.
Yeah. And I guess another quick point before we get to Rove Miles and kind of take a look at how it's quite a good portal for travelers. When we think about a business class flight, it's not just the flight, because you get access prior to boarding, or if you're in transit somewhere, you get access to the lounges that are available to that airline as well, right? So you don't necessarily need to hold one of these premium credit cards that comes with unlimited lounge access or things like that, because your ticket gets you into the lounge. So you don't have to pay that extra. If you're a person that doesn't want to hold a ton of credit cards, you can just hold one or two that are going to earn you some transferable currencies. And then the ones that come with the lounge access that might be $500-600 a year, you don't need those, because your ticket comes with the lounge access. So just another side note there. So all right.
So yes, and by the way, we are gonna answer the question why travel in 2026 is gonna cost you more. So if you have not noticed yet, it's more expensive. Yes, the price, the points, they also do fluctuate, but excuse me, the fact that you do have the flexibility or deciding when to fly and where to fly, it's done quite handy.
Because accommodation, like everything else, has increased over the past few years, and I don't think it's never gonna go back to what it was, right? These prices are now here to stay, and if you have any travel coming up and you've looked at the cost of a hotel night or an Airbnb, when I do a lot of the hotel and accommodation bookings, and Jean does a lot of the flights and stuff like that. And every time I show him a place that we're going to stay, he's like, oh, That's expensive, right? Because you have an idea of what you would like to pay to stay in a certain location or country. And nowadays, that amount is going up. So if you can earn a little bit more on the front end and to use later on, you're going to offset your travel costs massively.
Yeah. Okay, so let me try and bring the presentation now. Am I right?
I think so. Yeah, well, we might as well put it up so everybody can see Rove Miles.
Okay.
Oh, now we gotta.
Now I gotta switch it. 1 second. I'm gonna replace.
Coffee's still kicking in, guys.
Yeah. That's the moment that I don't know what to do, but I will figure it out.
Oh, there we go.
But
there
if we do this, perfect.
Okay.
Let us know. Can you guys see our screen? I mean, I hope that you can.
Yeah. Okay.
Especially with the Rove Miles, the website.
Yeah. So this is Rove Miles, and like we said, this particular website isn't even a year old. However, it's really taking the points and miles scene by storm a little bit. Oh, Tracy, it is just after 7 a.m. So early.
7 a.m. It's already Monday here.
Yeah. And the reason is this. It looks like any other booking site. However, you're going to see here, I don't know if I can use the little pointer, if everybody can see it or not, if it shows up on your screen, but right in the middle of your screen, you see this thing that says loyalty eligible stays. And you can see all these big brands here, right? Hilton, Marriott, Hyatt, IHG, all these kinds of things. Those co-branded hotels, up until very recently, if you book them through a third-party website, such as Rove Miles, you were not able to use your status benefits. You were not able to collect elite night credits towards status, all of these types of things. And with this particular platform, you have that option. You have the option to be able to enter in your loyalty numbers and receive all of your status benefits that you would have as a Marriott Platinum or Titanium, things like that. In addition, this portal now allows you, if you have a co-branded credit card for these particular chains, to use your co-branded card, and then you earn the multiplier for that chain. For example, the World of Hyatt credit card. If we stay in a Hyatt and use the eligible stay tab that you'll see in a few minutes, you will see that you can enter in your World of Hyatt number, and the credit card that you use will be charged from Hyatt. So you're going to earn the 9 times the points as a Hyatt card member, in addition to Rove Miles. So we'll get to that in a minute. And then up at the top, you're going to see the little balance there that says 1,500 miles. So that's sort of where you're going to see how many miles you're starting to accumulate up here.
Yeah. And on top of that, as you can see highlighted, it's not only for hotels. You have the option to book flights through Rove Miles. You can book hotels, and you can do your shopping. And what do I mean by shopping? It's all those stores that we have that are available. That's the extra click that Christine was talking before. All that you have to do is, before you go, let's say, I don't know, to CVS, or you go to Adidas, or you go to Home Depot, or whatever the case is, you will go to Rove Miles or to Rakuten and click on that link. And from that link, you'll be redirected to that specific store and complete your purchase.
Yeah.
Right?
Lovely. Yes. Early retirement can be complicated, but we were talking about this the other day because I think once you get there, once you've reached that financial milestone and you can say you're retired early, all of us are of a very different mindset where we kind of like to have something to focus on.
The challenge,
right? And I feel like that's sort of what Points and Miles has become for us as well, because once you can reach the financial independence, our type A personalities for the most part got us there, and now we need something else to focus on. So I guess the travel hacking part is sort of our way of funneling that previous energy. So we haven't actually got into too much, but yes, definitely go back and rewatch.
Yeah.
So
And
this,
and we also have a post that we created
Yeah.
with like what we are showing now. So we
On the
will,
website.
on our website, we are gonna give you guys the URL
Mhm.
so you can take a look. But you go to this portal, which is Rove Miles. Again, we are not sponsored by either Rakuten or Rove Miles, and there are other shopping portals as well,
Yeah,
being from your airline. So Alaska, American,
everybody has one.
Air Canada, they all have one shopping portal. We thought that the best uh, result from our money, and I was gonna say my investment, which is an investment once you go and stay on those places, is receiving something back, right? So which is something back? If I use your portal to book something, what are you giving me back in terms of points and miles?
Yeah. Okay, so at the top, the one we're going to look at here is because this is the one that we've been recently researching and looking to book, is Kuala Lumpur. So at the very top, the same as like...
Sorry, I just went through. Sorry.
So at the very top in that bar, we're going to look at Kuala Lumpur downtown for a week from February 1st to February 8th. So Jeanne and I are heading to Kuala Lumpur. It's going to be it's going to be in February as well.
Yeah.
Because that's where we're going to be doing a lot of medical tourism. You can go, it's called Prince Court Medical. You can go and spend, it's around $500 US, and you get a entire medical exam. So we really want to go to Kuala Lumpur to get this baseline as to where we are in our health at this point in life, just so we can stay on top of certain things. So we're going to look in Kuala Lumpur today. So you put all your information wherever you want to travel, like any other portal, at the top, and it will search for you. And the next screen you're going to see can seem maybe a little overwhelming, but we're going to point out a few things here just so you know where to look and how to navigate it. It's going to come up with literally, you can see 654 different properties that you can potentially stay at in Kuala Lumpur. But what we want to do is notice that right down here in this section, there's a little thing called loyalty eligible. And in order to see the loyalty eligible hotels, those IHGs, Marriotts, and Hyatts,
all the chains.
Yeah, all those chain hotels, you're going to click off that little toggle switch. And we'll show you in a second. It'll filter this all out. So all you're seeing over here is those hotels.
Yeah, but what is important, it doesn't have to be only from those hotel chains. This could be anything, any hotel that you're gonna be, that they also of course partner with Rove. Those are the results that we are going to see.
Yeah, and you can see this next box over here. It's like a drop down filter, and you can sort by featured, lowest to highest price, depending on what you're looking for. But generally what we tend to do is we use this one here, highest miles multiplier. And if you take a quick look next to it here, you can see just sort of some of the numbers that you're going to start coming up with. I mean, I don't think many of us are going to be spending almost $12,000 on a week at a hotel, but hey, you never know. I don't know what your budget is. It's not mine.
It's not ours.
But some of them are very reasonable. Now, you're going to have to also use this map feature. This site is new, so it does have some things that are not as user-friendly as other things. So sometimes rather than looking at this list, because this hotel might be in some place that you don't want to stay, sometimes it's just easier to look in the area where you want to stay. So and those are the things.
And that's basically what we did. And there's no difference from the regular. I'm sure that you guys have booked something before. There's no difference from what we are used to. We know where you're going to be. We already know which hospital we will be in Kuala Lumpur. We click on the map and, okay, now that we know where the hotel is, what do we have around us? And based on that, we end up deciding which place.
Yeah. And I think it's important to note that this site isn't just for hotels, because this one here, it's actually like it's not a full one bedroom. I think this one was actually a studio apartment, but it comes with a kitchen, a fridge, washing machine, little seating area, stuff like that. So it's hotels, hotel chains, but also like serviced apartment style accommodations.
Yeah, it basically depends what we wanted to do.
Yeah.
Right? Are we speaking too fast? Do you guys have any questions, or can we move around? Or can I move ahead with this explanation?
Yeah.
In the meantime, I'm gonna have a sip of my coffee.
Because sometimes, I mean, we live this. We are planning all the time, and we enjoy it. So sometimes we may breeze over top of something that people may not understand. So just let us know if there's something. But
Yeah.
in the meantime, we will continue.
So yeah, are we continuing? Are we waiting for them to say something?
Well, they'll let us know.
They will?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you are...
You have the clicker.
Oh, sorry. I have the clicker, but she is the one. She's the one who spends more time on hotels. Right. So there we go.
All right. So the first one we're going to look at are loyalty eligible properties. So that's where we had this little toggle switch over here. And we still have our dates up top here. I toggled on. Let's see what our loyalty eligible hotel chains are. And these are the ones that are currently supported by Rove Miles. So many of them, especially if you have US credit cards, you're going to see that almost all of these, with the exception of all, have a co-branded credit card that you can use in the US. Our Canadian lucky people, we do have Marriott co-branded cards with Amex. You can also get these other cards, but there's a bit of a process to start applying for a US card. This chain here, Accor, anybody can use this chain. You go in and you just sign up for an account, and they have hotels everywhere. They have a huge presence in Latin America. Mm-hmm. They have a huge presence here in Southeast Asia. And it's fairly easy. If you're going to be traveling a lot, you don't have a co-branded card, this may be a chain to start looking at in order to obtain status fairly easily, right? Okay.
But as you said, even if we don't have a co-branded credit card, we always talk about points and miles and numerous examples that it's cheaper to actually buy the points and use the points for your stay.
Yeah. Right? And I think it's important. We always say that, you know, co-branded cards are great. Yeah, they are. But quite often you might be getting a free night with them or a sign-up bonus. But aside from that, it's nothing that you can't earn just by staying at these chains without the card to begin with. So don't let not having a co-branded card deter you from trying to get status at one of these chains, because status can also provide a huge financial benefit to you when you start traveling a lot more, right? Whether that's a room upgrade, free breakfast, lounge access, all these different types of things.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we're in Kuala Lumpur. We're going to look at a Marriott property and see what we come up with. So the next screen we're going to look at here, we chose, because of its location, the JW Kuala Lumpur. Beautiful hotel. And actually, the cash price for this hotel is not that much when you consider the price for other JWs around the world.
So what is the price? We can even have, the price per night, which is $126.63 for 1 week. 2 people, it would be costing us $950. Right?
Yeah.
And you can see underneath what are you going to talk about?
We're going to go into because there's something to note with these properties. You have options within this property. So we're going to choose this JW here, and we're going to pop over here. This is the same hotel. Once you're in here, under this section where it says choose your room, you're going to have 2 options. You have Rove rates, and then over here you have a Marriott Bonvoy eligible rate. So when you look at the Rove rate, you're going to see it's $116 a night, plus your taxes and fees there. And the multiplier on this particular night is 13 times your spend. So you're going to end up getting 13,445 transferable miles in addition to whatever you spend, like that amount of money on your credit card. So you're still going to earn your points and miles with your credit card spend, and Rove Miles codes as travel. So make sure it's a card that has a multiplier for travel in this case. So you can just go in and book this room, even if you don't want to collect Marriott points or Elite Night. If it doesn't matter to you about anything to do with Marriott status, but you want to stay at this hotel, choose this option because you're actually earning 13x on your stay.
Mhm.
And I say that because when you look at the next option, which is the Marriott Bonvoy eligible option, you're going to notice that there's a little bit, the price looks different. It's not. It's because this option, you're paying the taxes and fees on top here, right? So this price doesn't include the taxes and fees. Over here, for whatever reason, Rove has decided they're going to put it all together. So it works out to $126 a night. But you're noticing here that you only get, instead of the 13x, you're getting a 5x multiplier on this stay now. That's because you're now booking a Bonvoy eligible stay. And what that means is that when you go and you select this room for checkout, it's going to ask you to put in your Marriott Bonvoy loyalty number. And by doing that, you collect your Elite Night credit. You can use your Marriott Bonvoy credit card and receive that multiplier when you pay for the hotel. And you'll receive any status that you already have once you arrive at the hotel. So if you have platinum status, they will recognize your status. You might get a room upgrade or lounge access. Whereas if you book the Rove rate, you won't be able to take advantage of any of that loyalty benefit.
Yeah, you only collect the Rove
You
Miles.
just clip the Rove
points.
Miles and your base spend on your credit card.
Mhm.
So we kind of wanted to show those two options because you have to be careful when you're looking at the loyalty eligible. Don't click if you want to book and receive your Elite Nights, don't use the Rove rate for this instance because it does look great with this 13x and earning this number of points, but you won't receive your benefits and you won't receive those Elite Nights, which are important to maintaining status, right? Book this one. You'll only get 5x, which is still way better than 0, and you'll receive all of your benefits along with it.
And this is like the exercise that you always need to do. The usual option, it will be us, like last year. I would go to Marriott.com. I would be looking for those properties, and based on those properties, I was gonna check the price. By the time that I do pay, I would pay a certain amount, and I would be collecting those Marriott points. Doing one step prior to this, which is going to Rove Miles, it might cost you a little bit more. However, you are collecting your Marriott, the loyalty eligible points, as well as those points that you can use later on, and those are the Rove Miles points that could be used to offset the hotel, which I think that's what Christine is going to show soon.
Yeah. So I don't know if anybody has any questions about this, but this is the loyalty eligible program. And it works this way for all of those brands that we showed you before. Do note, and we didn't do a screenshot of this, generally you will see more room options when you're looking at the Rove rates. So you might see a Superior Twin, you see your Deluxe King, you may even see a suite that you can book using cash with the Rove rate. Quite often, when you're using the loyalty eligible rate, you may have one or two choices of room types, but that's where your status is going to kick in when you check in and you hope that, you're going to receive your room upgrade and things like that. Okay. So you won't see as many options right now anyways, when you're looking at these loyalty eligible stays.
Yeah. The other thing is don't be, move around and check around the website. You see the filter here, sort by cheapest. So you have to scroll down and change the filter because sometimes the price for a suite might even be cheaper than the regular room. So check around and see what other options are available.
That's right. Speaking of other options, not everybody wants to stay. A lot of people don't like chain hotels. A lot of people enjoy staying in sort of more one-off properties, boutique style properties, or you're going somewhere that does not have a chain hotel. And that's where this site actually really starts to shine. And we're going to go back here to our sort of like the main screen where we were before, same search criteria. And we've now selected sort by the highest miles multiplier. And we chose This one is a great option, but it was a little farther away from the hospital that we're going to be going to for the testing. So we found this one. This one is just actually right next door to the Crown Plaza in Kuala Lumpur. Really nice area. And this is one of those properties that's actually a little suite. So it's a king suite. It has a little kitchen. It's got laundry, beautiful, bright looking modern room. And it's around $70 a night. And that's including taxes and fees. So what you're going to notice here is your multiplier is 32 times your spend. So you go for 1 week in Kuala Lumpur and stay in this particular accommodation, you're spending $526.73 and earning 16,855 miles. That's a really great return on your spend, because not only are you earning this 16,000 miles, you're also earning at least, hopefully, 2 to 3 times this spend on your co-brand or your credit card, right? So you're really starting to earn a lot of miles. I mean, on this stay alone, you're probably, if you add up your credit card spend plus this, you're earning almost 20,000 points or miles just on this $500. And people, when we put out the video last week, they're like, how could you possibly earn so many points and miles? This is how. You have to kind of start looking for these, I want to call them deals, because they really are. These options here, right? Because these ones are really going to start adding to this point balance up here when you start booking them.
Yeah.
Right?
But the other thing that it's important to mention is, let's say if you just stay for 1 week, you are going to receive 16,000 points. If you go and let's pretend that you are going to stay so that's how much it is. However, if you don't want to pay cash on your stay, if you are collecting Rove Mile points for the same period, you'll be having to pay 23,000 miles for the same apartment, the same location, the same time. You would be paying 23,000 miles for that week.
Yeah, so if you are like us and you're slow traveling, or you have the time to spend longer in a city and really kind of dig in and enjoy something, if we wanted to stay here for 3 weeks, we could pay cash for 2 and points for the 3rd. And you would almost, after 2 weeks, if this mile total over here, I keep pointing at the screen, but you guys can't see it. If this value didn't change and this value didn't change, because these fluctuate all the time, and you book this for 2 weeks, you would almost have enough for 2 other weeks for free, right? So this is where you can start to offset your accommodation costs by using these points and miles, or you can turn around and transfer them to a few of the airline partners that are on here. And those airline partners are part of bigger alliances, and you can book flights all over the place.
Yeah.
All right. Did we miss anything here?
I don't think so.
I feel like we've been talking a lot. So the last one, talking about accumulating the points and miles, it's this. And these are just a few. We couldn't fit them all on the screen. These are a few of the partners that you can transfer your points and miles to. And if you can see down here, this is Qatar. This is what we flew. And they transfer a 1-to-1 ratio, which is pretty good. So if we look at this stay, 16,000, right? And we wanted to stay at this property for 1 month, because we're slow travelers. So 1 month times 16,888 times 4, you have 67,500 miles. Our flight, 14 hours in business class with Qatar, was 70,000.
Plus taxes.
Plus taxes and fees, but 70,000 Avios, Qatari Avios. So basically, just your 1 month of accommodation will get you or your partner or whoever you're traveling with a one-way business class flight with Qatar.
Yeah. And all those tricks, I'm going to give you another trick right now. You can see we even pointed here that right now, as we are live, and we just took those print screens yesterday. We are November the 16th. You guys are still November the 15th. You see that right now, Rove Miles has a promotion where you can transfer your points to Finnair. Finnair and Qatar, they are part of the same alliance. Even your example of 16,000 miles, if we do include 20% more, it is going to be
80,000.
over the 70,000 points mark that Qatar charges for the flight.
You would actually get 80,400 miles.
And you know what is a good thing to know? You can transfer your points between Finnair and Qatar. So 80,000 or whatever thousand points,
80,400
Finnair points. You can transfer your Finnair points to Qatar Airways and book the flight, right? All of those tricks people usually they don't talk about, because I mean we never know, but this is how we end up saving on our flights. I was looking at Christian, and there was you were asking me what is our highest spending category on our travel. Is actually accommodation. And so if you can use this, I think it was around $12,000 so far. Let me see, 12,700. We go through those numbers in our community. So if you want to join us on our community, so you guys are more than welcome. You can see the breakdown from those numbers. Those 12,700 from January 25 until October 2025. That's how much we have spent. We end up saving on our travel category, because one is accommodation, the other one, which is travel, we have not spent even a third of what we spent on accommodation. And why?
It's points and miles. And if everybody didn't see last week's video, we showed a map of all of the flights and how we traversed the world since the beginning of 2025. And it's literally cost us like less than $5,000 for both of us to do all of that flying and traveling. And a lot of, I would say about half of it was in business class.
So. It does take a while for us to get our mind and understand on how those things work, but they do work. I mean, we are your guinea pigs. So we try everything, and by the time that we try and see if it works, we wanted to share, because the fun that we are having now in traveling and enjoying all those experiences and everything, we were on your side. Maybe you are already retired, you don't know. Use the comments below and let us know if this is your case. But we want to show that it's possible. Yes, we do have a budget, but at the same time, we make our budget go farther.
Travel's affordable if you take a little bit of time to find out how to maximize the money that you're spending every day, right? And I think a few of the things to take note of on this screen before we go is some of these transfer partners are quite unique. So you're not going to see, right now, Rove Miles has a number of transfer partners, but they might not be some of the ones that we're all familiar with. Like Air Canada Aeroplan, I don't think is on here yet.
No.
But some of the ones that they do have are things like this, Lufthansa. This is one of the only programs that'll allow you to transfer your miles to Lufthansa.
In North America?
In North America, and other ones that I haven't seen as transfer partners with a lot of North American credit cards, like the Maharaja Club or
that's Air India.
Air India. Etihad is also a hard one to get your miles into. Things like that. Turkish, I think there's one transfer partner, Capital One might transfer. So some of these transfer partners aren't as easy as one might think with some of the current credit cards to transfer your points and miles into. And they could have very good point redemptions for some of the flights you're looking at.
And the great thing about those airlines is all the partnerships that they have. Give you the example of Finnair. You can transfer your points from Finnair to Qatar Airways. You can also transfer your Rove Miles points to Maharaja. Is it how I say it?
I think so. Maharaja Club.
That's basically Air India. Did you know that you can book an Air India? You can go to this Maharaja Club and you book an American, like regular economy or I don't know, business
Yeah.
or premium economy flight with our Maharaj. It's because of the partnerships that they have with
Mhm.
airlines all over the world.
Yeah, just because you're putting your miles into one program doesn't mean you're flying with Air India or Lufthansa or
Mhm.
KLM Flying Blue, something like that.
Yeah.
Because they're like, you could be flying on United. It just depends on the partnership that
Yeah.
each airline has amongst the others, right? So,
Mhm.
all right. So those are the screens that we have to show you guys. Now you get to see our faces in big again, I think. Maybe not.
We have to. Wait a second. Here I am. Is it replace? No, replace is gonna have another one. In the meantime, while I try to do this.
Yeah. Oh, so Erica, you had a question about branded credit cards for airlines giving you the multipliers. I don't think at this point that works. Rove Miles will code as travel. So if you have a credit card that gives you a multiplier for travel spend, it will definitely give you that. At this point, I think it's just the co-branded hotel cards. But like we said, this has only been since April, and the fact that they've already got the hotels on board, and you're able to use that co-branded credit card and receive your multiplier for that chain is pretty fantastic, because you can't do that with Expedia or Booking and all these other things, right? So at this point, that could also be coming elsewhere as well. So
yeah.
And speaking of that, if you are a fan of booking your stuff through booking.com, check here first. However, if you don't find something that you're looking for, go to the shopping portal. With Rove, you'll still earn Rove Miles, get into the booking portal, and you can book your stays there as well. So it's a little bit of legwork to find your deals, but at the end of the day, if you're going to be able to earn a business class flight for taxes and fees free, it's worth doing a little bit of extra searching around for the best deal that's going to suit you at that time, right?
Yeah. I guess that's the beauty of it. It's just having the flexibility that we have and deciding where we want to go and how we are going to use. If I am paying for something, I have to receive something back in return.
Yeah, so Jean talked quickly. If anybody has any questions, so we're kind of done with showing you guys Rove Miles. If you have questions about Rove Miles, throw them in the comments. If you have questions about any of the other portals, put those there. Any questions at all, let us know. We'll keep talking here, but just as an example, so Jean tracks everything. So on our spreadsheet, he told you that we have 12,000 in spend.
Let me go to the spreadsheet right now. 12,700 for accommodation.
Yeah. So if you even look at that as like a 3x spend, just without any of these multipliers and all that other stuff, we would generally be getting around 3 points per dollar on average around that. And that's just 36,000 points. That's another half a flight just by spending money we would already be spending, right?
Yeah.
And that, I think that's our biggest thing. That's the biggest lesson, I guess, we want to try to get out to so many people, is that this doesn't have to be extra money you're spending. These are expenses you guys already have. It's money that's already going out of your pocket. So make that money get you something a little bit extra back in return, right?
Yeah.
So yeah. Better than working full time. Yes,
it is. Yeah. So I am gonna leave a link, which is our resource page. You can take a look from all of our points and miles. We released it I think it was last weekend. The points and miles guide. Go and take a look and watch the video if you haven't watched yet, because it's a really good kind of opportunity for, I guess it was some sort of intro to points and miles on how we can do this, and the real examples as you are using. So if you go and take a look at the resources page, you guys will be able to see this. The guide is free. All that we wanted to do is kind of open up our minds and maybe yours for all the possibilities that we have, because they do help us quite a lot.
Yeah, it just becomes second nature. So possibly at the beginning when you're starting to learn all of the terms and, looking which card has the biggest multiplier or which portal is the best one for me to use for this purchase, sometimes it can seem a little bit overwhelming. But I think that could be said for the beginning of all of our journeys to financial independence, to early retirement and things like that. But now those financial things have become second nature. It's just part of who you are and how you live your life. And that's really what Points and Miles becomes, because it's now just part of our life. And we know, okay, if we're going to go to the grocery store here in Kuala Lumpur, we're not going to get it coded as a grocery store. So we're just going to use a card that gives us 2x on all of our spend. That's what we use. We go to a restaurant, we use our restaurant Cobra, or like our card that gives us 3x.
Yes.
Things like that. And it's just, it becomes second nature. It becomes less overwhelming the more you kind of learn and put yourself out there, stuff like that.
And it's funny because what I was going to say? I forgot already. It's time for another coffee. Can you guys see our back? So that's where we are. Sometimes it's not the most.
We'll show you.
Do you want to show them? Okay. Do you want
There
to?
we go.
Yes.
Here's our little apartment.
Our little apartment.
That's
so that's the TV
area.
there. We watch YouTube, of course.
Little kitchen, and there's laundry there too. And then we have the bedroom is here, and the bathroom is that door.
The door
right there.
Yes. So what I was saying.
I don't know. I distracted you.
You did.
I do that frequently.
Tell me what I was gonna say. I think there was the community and how much you are able to spend and how many points you are able to accumulate. So from the regular spend, and you have the breakdown from our community members. We spent regular spending. We said, okay, we end up getting 207,000 points and miles on regular spending. It does not even include the number of points that we received for sign-up bonuses, right? What is Laurie's question?
Lori. I don't think you do, Lori. And so for our Canadian viewers and Americans, Canada has one of the best credit cards when you use it in country. We get a 5x multiplier with the Amex Cobalt card on groceries and restaurants eating out. And so 5 Amex points for every $1 Canadian that you're spending is honestly probably the best multiplier across all credit cards right now at this point. Because American Express points are one of those transferable currencies. They can be sent to multiple different airline partners. But I don't think you get that outside of Canada. So for the Canadians there's a new card, and you also have a foreign transaction fee on that card. There's a new credit card. It's a cash back card, but it's worth taking a look at. It's the Wealth Simple credit card. So if you have a Wealth Simple account, you can open their checking cash account, and you get 2% cash back on your spend, and there's no foreign transaction fees. So if you're going to be spending a lot of time outside the country, if you don't want to go ahead and get one of the US credit cards that have no foreign transaction fees, this is also another option to look at.
The good thing is we have options, and by having options, we end up deciding which credit card should we use now. We are planning of going to Kuala Lumpur soon, and we are working on thank God.
That's the AC.
We are working on a sign-up bonus now, right? And we go through, yesterday as we were recording taking the different screens and deciding what you're going to be talking today, we go through this process right now of deciding which credit card are we going to use. Are we going to use the credit card that we are kind of have to make the minimum spend in order to get the points? We go to the grocery, it's already like nation. We already know, okay, this is the credit card that you're going to use. We go to a restaurant, we already know what credit card we are going to use, right? So it becomes second nature just because we know how powerful it is. And the opportunity of travel and I guess enjoying it, it's good.
Yeah.
So let's see Laurie's question: how to get an US card as a Canadian? It's not only for Canadians; it's for anybody in the world. If you wanna have US credit cards, what we need to do?
Well, you need three things. Well, you need two things for most. Well, you need three things for most of the cards, but two for Amex. You need a US address and you need a US bank account. And then if you're looking at American Express, they will use your Canadian credit history and you can apply for the US American Express cards. If you want to start getting into the Chases and the other bank cards, then you also need to go and get a tax ID number. And that's something that you can apply to the IRS in the United States, and they will issue you a tax ID number. And there's, if there's enough interest, let us know. We can do a video on sort of some of the intricacies of that. Maybe we'll put that in the membership. I'm not sure, but yeah, let us know and we can explain it more. But you just need those three things, and they're not. It's time consuming a little bit. It's a little bit of effort to put in on the back end, but the reward at the end of the day. However, also keep in mind that as Canadians with US credit cards, you have to send money from Canada to the United States to pay the card off. And you're also going to have to deal with the exchange rates. So
it goes back to what is when we are doing, when you're doing, it's dollar cost average. So we end up doing dollar cost average with some of those things because we know that we are gonna use. But as Christine said, it's not only for Canadians; it's for anyone who decided to receive credit cards in the United States. This is, of course, totally legal, so that's why we have them. But yeah, there is a work that you need to do in advance, and especially, as I said before, do those things, consider those things while you are still working and while you're still making, based on our ages, more money. So that's how you end up spending more money, right? So that's
and I think a lot of the time Canadians are under the impression that our credit cards aren't as lucrative as the US, that we're missing out big time. To a certain extent, we are. Our sign-up bonuses and whatnot are not quite as substantial. However, there are some amazing deals out there for Canadian credit cards. So make sure you take a look at the link. A lot of them are there, and a lot of them are, well, a lot of them can be very useful. So we'll leave it at that for now. And maybe we'll do a video on both, specifically just US cards that we really like, plus Canadian cards that we really like. So Claudette, are you still planning on going to Laos? We are. So we actually leave Chiang Mai on Wednesday and start making our way north to the border. And on Sunday, we are going to take...
Don't count them.
We're going to share that with you guys later.
Okay, well, let's tell them. She asked. Okay, I'm just going.
We booked a Mekong River cruise. So you couldn't take the slow boat like the regular local transportation, but I don't know, Jean and I wanted to have a little bit of a little cruise. So we're going to cruise down the Mekong River, and we've been put up in a very nice hotel for a night halfway down. And then we will be in Luang Prabang for
next week. We are going to be in Laos.
Yeah, right. Yeah, so we're looking forward to that. We'll be there for a few weeks before we come back to Thailand for Christmas and New Year's.
Yes.
So
it will be fun.
Yeah. What else?
And by the way, all of these trips that we're talking about, guess what we use to pay? Credit cards and the highest multiplier for travel. So we end up deciding which credit card we are going to use.
Dr. Fire, you're going to be living it too soon. You have some time now, right, to start building up your points and miles. And then when you're ready to hit that travel now button, you'll be set.
Yes. Yeah.
And it might be a good time to start getting some of those, while you're still based in one spot, start slowly applying for some of these credit cards, get the sign-up bonuses, and, you know, while you're still spending in the US.
That's true.
What What else? If anybody has any other questions, we don't want to keep you. I know it's already been an hour, so it's completely dependent upon if you guys want us to keep chatting or not. We could talk about points and miles till you guys all fall asleep. So we know it's Sunday night for all of you. But yeah, anything, let us know.
Yes. For those of you interested, take a look on our website. You are more than welcome to join our community. And some of those things we can't give you more information because it's a secret, but not a secret. But you're more than welcome to join our community, and we wanted to give you guys the possibility of, I don't know, taking advantage of that. It's taking advantage in a good way. It's playing the game. It's understanding how those things works, right? So
yeah, well, the system is there, and as long as you know how to use the system, it can be quite lucrative. It's the same as finances, right? The rich have a system figured out, and it's up to us to do our due diligence and figure how we can also take advantage of the rules out there and play within the rules, but also earn these points and miles to really offset our travel costs. So
yeah. The Dr. Ninja has an interesting question. How do you book the trips without speaking the language?
Honestly, it has not even been an issue.
No.
The vast majority of people that we contact, we contact them in English and they respond to us in English. We've had no problems. Websites translate now automatically with Google, the vast majority.
Yeah.
We haven't had any issues.
No.
The odd time you're going to, obviously, when we're traveling, especially here in Thailand, not everybody's, obviously, they speak Thai. They don't speak English necessarily, but most people have a small understanding. And if not, it's this beautiful thing called Google Translate, and
yes,
we get by.
To give you an example, we are gonna go and move to Chiang Rai this week. What we have decided to do, we decided to take a bus, and you have to go and book your ride from here to Chiang Rai. Yes, right. And we can do this online without any problems. We went online, we went to the website, we picked the language, English, and even if they would not have, we could have gone to the terminal and buying the ticket there, right? Don't be, you'll be surprised at how many people they do speak language. What we always try to do is when we go to the markets here in Chiang Mai. Oh my God, I need another coffee. When I go to the markets here in Chiang Rai, we want to kind of get like the food and everything, and end up learning a few languages that they do make a difference, which is always good. And that's what we really enjoy, which is speaking a little bit of Thai, like Sawadee Krap. I already know this. And then we say Aroy Din Dim. It's like really when the food is good. And I've been saying I might have like Aroy Din Dim on my face because I keep telling every single thing that I try. I love it. And it just, your smile goes a long way.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah.
So language, I wouldn't let language ever deter you from going somewhere, because you're always going to find people that will speak English, be very willing to help you. And at the end of the day, Google Translate is it's a lifesaver and a game changer for travel.
Yeah. And even us traveling as a couple, we have met so many single people along the way, male or female. So you are not going to have a problem at all interacting and getting to know people and learning from each other and going out on things. We went on where was it? The food class. Well, we like a cooking class, so we decided to go in a cooking class and try to cook real Thai food. There was two brothers, two siblings, they were kind of like on the, how would you call that car? I don't know, like a truck with us. There was a girl, she was from Germany, and she gave us really good tips about Germany. There was the other one from the Netherlands. They were single, they were traveling, they were enjoying their lives and having a good time. And I was saying, and she was even saying that she just got back home to her hostel like 7 a.m. and I was thinking,
They're a bit younger then.
yeah. And I was saying, are you gonna go? And they were planning to go to actually Chiang Rai on the next day. And I was saying, are you gonna go out? And she says yes. But anyway, time for that. Any other questions? I don't think so.
Yeah, Brandon, you're very welcome. Any questions, guys, feel free to put them in the comments down below. We'll get back to you if we didn't cover it on the video.
Yeah.
Right?
That sounds good.
Okay. Well, hopefully you guys had a great weekend. Hopefully this brought you a little bit of knowledge. Rove Miles is by far one of the best options to book your hotels right now. And you can really accumulate quite a few.
Yeah, there's one extra question from there.
What safety tips do you have to not have your phone or camera stolen? Be aware of your surroundings. We don't put our phones in our back pockets. I carry my bag in front of me at all times. I have the 2 bags that we do have for travel are slash proof and what are they? VFR or the scan proof pockets on them. Just general awareness of your surroundings goes a long way. But Thailand, at least here in Chiang Mai, so safe.
We haven't had any, even,
people leave like stuff, their helmets are sitting out on top of their scooters and motorcycles all night. Here in the building, we have stuff delivered. The door is open and they just leave it on the table and you go down and collect it whenever you're home, right? I think sometimes we have these perceptions that other places are very unsafe, and that's not true. I think it just being aware of where you are and keep your head up. Don't put your head down and look in your phone all the time. Know where you're going, get your head up and walk there, and you're not constantly looking at a map and things like that. That kind of points you out pretty quickly as somebody who doesn't know where they're going and maybe a bit of a target. So just be aware. That's all.
Yeah. Coming from a cop, so
head up, guys. Get your head out of your phone. Look at people.
Yeah.
If they know you've seen them, they're less likely to give you any trouble. So
sounds like a
yeah. Okay. We have talked for over an hour and you guys are probably tired of hearing us yammer on. So any more questions, one last time, let us know. If not, we will say good night to you and we will go and grab another coffee for us.
That sounds like a good plan.
Yeah. All right, guys, have a great day. Have a good week. And we'll keep you posted on Lao.